All right, so on today's program, we're with Jesse Boger, and Jesse's with Limitless Genetics. Jesse is known throughout the industry. I look at it, he's like the young guard. The old guard's handing it off to the young guard, and he's got some really good deer we're gonna be showing to you on today's show. Jesse's got so many deer out here that no matter what your favorite flavor is, a non-typical or typical or real wide, whatever, if you're looking for something, you're gonna be able to find it here at Limitless Genetics. All right, so we're just outside of Schulenburg, Texas at Limitless Genetics. This is my friend Jesse Boger. Jesse's been breeding deer how many years now?
15.
15 years. My gosh, time flies.
Oh yeah.
We've been out here many, many times, and we've seen Jesse's deer and featured them on the show. And this is located halfway between San Antonio and Houston off Interstate 10, just south of Interstate 10. It is real convenient to get to, but a lot of people are coming here to take a look at these deer, and on today's program, we're gonna show you why. Now, in this particular period, we're gonna start out with the yearlings. And the reason why I like to start out with the yearlings is because when I go to a farm, show me your youngest stuff, because the youngest stuff is really the best stuff. Genetically, it's the best stuff. So I want to see the best stuff. So this right here is the future of Limitless Genetics. So you take a look at these yearling bucks. Now there's one buck in here that he's not a yearling, and you can obviously pick out who that is. We'll tell you who he is in a second. But look at these yearlings, they're pretty. They look like deer, okay? They're pretty, and that's one thing that Jesse has been known for. You really grow pretty deer. I mean, the focus-wise has been more of a typical deer than a non-typical deer. Why is that?
That's what sells. That's what everybody prefers. And when you're growing up throughout your life, that's what you're going out to shoot your hunt. That's what you're going for, that typical look. So focus on that.
And so as you look through, yeah, you're going to get some non-typical stuff. And I don't think you can avoid that. When you start feeding the nutrition that you're feeding, you're going to get some non-typical stuff. But by and large, the deer are typical, but there's a bigger deer in here. He's older, and you can tell, and that's got to be Big Slick, right?
Yes, sir, yep.
I mean, look at the drops on that guy. Now, Big Slick is what, a 5-year-old now?
Yep, 5 years old.
Okay. I want you to tell everybody about Big Slick. I mean, tell him what the pedigree is, and kind of historically. I want them to know that, hey, he was born here.
He's a blackjack son out of a voodoo doe. We bred his mom here, 5 years ago, and full outcross to gladiator, and just different breeding.
And here, the outcross. That's the thing, outcross. If you can find the right outcross, you can pop some good stuff,
can't
you?
Yep, it lines up perfectly.
Yeah, and so I don't know how wide he is now, but I know years ago we have filmed Big Slick. As a yearling, he was what, 28, 30 inches?
He was like 33.
As a yearling?
Yep, as a yearling.
And he held it, and he has thrown, and if you go to NADAR, the North American Deer Registry, and if you're a breeder, you can get on there, you can see how many offspring are out of him, do you think?
He doesn't have too much, 100 or so, something like that.
But that's not bad, though.
That's
not bad. Yeah. We're going to show you one later on today's program that has got hundreds, okay? And this will be the first time I've ever been out here where he actually still has his antlers on his head. Yeah. So we'll show him to you in a little bit. But this deer, Big Slick, he's got a special yearling in this pen, and we're going to pick him out. I want you to tell everybody about him.
So his son, Blue 2454, is one of our favorite yearlings here. He's real wide. He's probably going to push 30 as well. And he's actually out of a brain freeze daughter. So the combination of both my top herd sires, and turned out pretty good.
He turned out really good. What a beautiful deer that is. You know, he mentions a deer named brain freeze. Okay, I want to talk about brain freeze for a second. Anybody in the industry really has heard of brain freeze. Brain freeze is a deer that is being used to this day. And he's 10 years old. Now, every single time I've been out here, brain freeze has had his antlers off of him. Yeah. But he doesn't now. We got out here early enough. He's still got his antlers, but tell everybody, he may not look like much, but tell about it.
He's definitely nothing to look at. He's gone a little crazy, but it's just pretty cool seeing that. You don't see deer live that long as much anymore. So to see him at 10 years old is pretty unique in itself.
And the thing is, when you look at the North American Deer Registry and you see how many hundreds of animals have been sired by brain freeze, you'll see how special that deer is, regardless what he looks like today. Because the older they get, they regress. That's just
for sure.
Simple as that. But he'll be a deer that people talk about for decades to come, because he really is a deer that is changing the industry. But I mean, brain freeze, I'm happy to get out here when I see his antlers on his head, but I look at the production on NADAR and go, that's what it's all about, as a deer breeder production, right?
Sure. Yep.
When we get back from the break, we're going to show you some 2-year-olds here at Limitless Genetics. And these guys are just stalkers, but I think you're going to be really impressed. All right, so if you just joined us, we're just outside of Schulenburg, Texas at Limitless Genetics with Jesse Boger, who owns the place. And we're gonna show you some 2-year-olds now. Now take a look at this pen of 2-year-olds. First off, how big is this pen? It's big.
These are 5 acres.
Yeah, so this pen is big. How many bucks you got in here?
Like 33 in each of these pens.
Okay, so what are these deer? Any of them breeders or what?
I mean, some of them are gonna be used as breeders for other people, but for the most part, I'm using them as stalkers for the stock of their ranches.
As a deer breeder, what we're trying to do, payday is coming when you sell the deer. Okay, it doesn't come till you sell the deer. And these deer basically are all sold, aren't they?
Yes, sir, yep.
Okay, and the reason why they're all sold, because he has a 15-year history of growing some big, beautiful deer as you're looking at. So as a deer breeder, there are really 2 parts of the market. You got a breeding market, then you got a stalker market. Would you agree with that?
Correct, yep.
Okay, and so these deer belong in the stalker market, okay? Now the difference is between the stalker market and the breeder market is genetics and it's production. Mm-hmm. And so how many deer percentage-wise do you think that are out there make the true breeder market?
Oh man, 2-3%.
I agree.
Yeah.
I told somebody that the other day, he said, no, they said 5%. It's like, there's no way it's 5%.
It's so hard to grow a buck. It's the buck, it's so hard.
And so, you know, Jesse has been fortunate enough to have the buck, several of the bucks in the industry here at Limitless Genetics. But it is so hard. So when you take a look at this pen of 2-year-olds and you think, most breeders would wind up using these, but literally these are pasture deer. So they explain to people what the purpose of being a pasture deer is. Why would somebody want these deer in a pasture?
Because they're trying to grow something relatively, or improve their own herd to grow something in between what we have here. So everybody's trying to grow that 172-inch deer. In order to get that, you need to breed a 230, 250.
And so these deer have got the genetics to do that. But as far as your customer, describe your typical customer who would buy these stalker deer.
It's mainly like large high fence ranches looking to just stock just to improve the general well-being of their property and improve the size, improve different certain looks. They might have a different look. I mean, I got a range in my looks. I mean, I have a lot of non-typicals, I have some typicals. So some people like, just gives people different variety.
Okay, so somebody wants to buy the stalker deer. And I mean, you've got stalker bucks, obviously, but you also would have stalker does, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, and so as you look at these bucks, okay, realize that they were produced from these does, from really exceptional does. Tell everybody about how you feel about the power of the doe. How does that come into play with the way that buck looks?
Oh, the doe is 60% at least. I mean, if you have the right does, the bucks will come. I guarantee it. Like, I have 15 years to prove it.
Yeah.
They will come.
And so as you're interested in stalkers and you're looking at these bucks as stalkers, you think, man, I'd like to stock my place with these bucks. You may want to consider stocking it with a few bucks, but really stocking it with does. And when people stock them with does, they primarily stock them already bred, don't they?
Yep. Invest in the does. Get them bred, and then you're ahead of everything else.
And what we'll wind up doing, we're going to show you more big deer here at Limitless Genetics when Deer and Wildlife Stories returns. But if you're interested in coming out here and taking a look at the place and looking at some of the deer, you can call Jesse at what number?
281-330-9519.
We'll be right back. All right, so this pen right here, another one of these big 5-acre buck pens. And how old are these guys?
Every one is 2.
Every one?
Yep.
Okay, so why do you have 2-year-olds in 2 different pens in? Are these different than those?
I just don't like to overrun the pen with too many.
Okay, all right.
This is probably the right amount for me.
And these guys right here, are all of these stalkers as well?
Yes, sir, yep. Minus a few select breeders for people.
Okay, well, if you've got one that you think is going to be a breeder, which one would it be?
Alakazam.
And which one is that?
It's that big SS over there.
Is it SS?
Yep.
Really?
That's
wow.
Negative 0.1 and some change.
And he's 2 years old?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so do you have a pedigree on him?
Yep, he's actually had a brain freeze and then Abracadabra's full sister.
Really?
So real pretty typical. So kind of mixes well with the inches and look.
Yeah, so that's a nice outcross right there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's really good. So we talk about outcrossing on genetics, okay? And there, for so many years in the deer breeding industry, if somebody had a real heavy producing sire, they just kept breeding him and breeding him and breeding in their herd. That's not being done now. I mean, not being done by the people that are leading the industry. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
I mean, we're always looking for an outcross, and there's so many good deer now. Now, I will tell you this, you hear this deer right here is an SS. In the past 5 years, there's been this GEBV stuff coming up that's an invisible genetic trait, and that really has reshuffled the deck, if you will, from the old guard. Think about that. And there's a lot of people not real happy about this, okay, a lot of people, and then there's people that are kind of happy about it, because it's like, you know what? We need to get fresh faces out there and fresh deer out there. And there's some really exceptional deer out there that you will never hear about unless we tell you about them. I mean, there's a lot of good deer that the media hype has really brought up those deer in value. You gotta, I mean, it's marketing, just like anything else. Okay, and so this is to kind of reshuffle the deck, and as it's reshuffled, I mean, some people that got dealt a better hand, and I think, Jesse, you've got a really good hand because you've got some really good deer. You've had 15 years of history out there to produce some good deer. You've got a great reputation. All these deer are sold, right?
Yes, sir, yeah.
Okay, hear about that. So if you want to buy these deer, you want to buy Stalker deer from Limitless Genetics, you've got to get in touch with you by when?
At least a year in advance, probably.
A year in advance. Okay, you should be thinking about that. Okay, now tell everybody, when would you deliver these deer? You buy them a year in advance.
Yeah.
When do you take them out?
We're in the middle of August right now, so within the next couple weeks, I'm gonna start. In Texas, we have to be done by September 17th.
Okay, and so what happens is that you'd make your decision way ahead of time.
Yep.
I guess you would get a
beginning of August into July. That's when I let people decide.
Okay, and so you'd make a decision, make a contract, put a deposit down, get everything lined out, make sure permits are all intact, everything's good, and then get it scheduled for the following year to deliver the deer.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's on bucks. But on does, you don't do that. On does, you do when?
Does, I usually try to start deciding around October of the year before so they can figure out who they would like to breed them to. And then we usually deliver those in February.
Okay, so when you come out and you're looking at these bucks, okay, you think, golly, I like the looks of that buck. If you like non-typical bucks or you like typical bucks, whatever, sit down with Jesse and you'll sit down and really kind of look at the pedigrees and say, I would recommend you put this buck with these does, and he'll breed those does to that buck. And then you wait till February and you're going to take that doe and you're going to take it out there bred on your piece of property, and you're getting 3 for 1.
Exactly.
I mean, you're getting the doe and you're getting her 2 offspring. So that's a consideration. So bucks go out in September and does go out in February, March. And if you want more information about buying Stalker deer, give them a telephone number.
281-330-9519.
All right, so when you come out here and take a look at deer, make sure you ask to take a look at this one particular deer. His name is Total Package, and when you take a look at him, you'll see why. When Deer and Wildlife Stories returns, we'll show you Total Package and a whole lot more. All right, so let's take a quick look at Total Package right here. Look at that, and he's just beautiful.
Yep, he's pretty every year.
Big and getting it done. And when people think of Jesse Boger, they think of 2 deer. Okay, they're gonna think of brain freeze, and they're gonna think of Total Package. What the 3 deer? Okay, I keep now. I'm gonna add more and more. Big Slick. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna add more and more. I mean, it's just like more and more deer, and these are like the deer. But Total Package is, you've used him for breeding, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you got any good offspring out of him?
Oh yeah, he's getting it done.
Really? So these other deer in this pen with him, how old are they?
These are all yearlings as well.
All of them?
Yep, all these pens are 1 breeder buck and 9 yearlings.
Okay, so somebody may ask, why in the world would you put a breeder buck in with these yearling bucks? Explain that.
Lets him be the top dog and let him not stress at all about growing out or anything like that. He's the one.
So they don't bother him at all?
No competition.
Well, I can see why.
Yeah.
I mean, take a look at it. So there's a pecking order. In the pecking order, whether it's with chickens or with turkeys or with deer,
for sure.
There's a pecking order. And so when you take a look at it, like Big Slick, I mean, Big Slick is in there with a bunch of yearlings, okay? And that's really to help protect him too.
Yep, for sure.
Because if he was in with the older bucks, they would challenge him.
Oh yeah, they're always doing it. Whether they're in velvet or hard antler, they're always a little jockeying for position.
Okay, so all these are yearlings. Is there anything in particular you want to point out in here? Any deer in particular?
There's a couple nice total package yearlings out there in the back. They're real pretty. There's a couple slick typicals and then one nice size one.
Okay, so do any of them go back to anything that's recognizable in the pedigrees? Probably all of them.
Yeah, everything goes back to their pedigree here.
Okay, so as you look at these yearling bucks right here, when the show runs, they won't have antlers on because the show runs January through June. But the deal about it is that these deer, if you come out here in August, you'll be able to see the change between 1 and 2 years of age. When do you make a decision whether you're going to breed them or not?
It depends. Some you'll notice like really early on, right at the beginning, and just blow up. And then you got some that grow out, and then you'll start noticing them in August. So it depends. But I'm looking at pedigrees the year that they're born. I'm like, okay, this is an option. This isn't an option, and stuff like that. So
how do you keep track of all this? I mean, there's got to be so much data to keep track of all these different deer that you've got. Do you have a computer program?
Yep, we use NADAR and everything, so everything is DNA'd here, and NADAR has a great online protocol that we go through, and they store it all for us. So
when we get on there, we can see pedigrees of all these deer. We can see offspring of all these deer, and we see who is breeding all these deer. So as you take a look at total package or brain freeze or whatever, you can go there and actually see how many people have bred to these deer from Limitless Genetics. And that'll give you an idea of how special these deer really are. When I start taking a look at the names of all these people that have bred your stuff, I'm thinking, very impressive. So if you're a deer breeder, head on over to the North American Deer Registry. Just go online and take a look at how many deer have been bred to these deer here. There's so many big deer here and so many different pens here that you're going to spend a good part of the day taking a look at them if you're interested in buying some deer. But there's a deer out here by the name of Atascosa. Atascosa is, he's in a pen with a bunch of yearlings, too, some special yearlings. Tell everybody how old Atascosa is.
Atascosa is 6 years old. We actually purchased him last year to be an outcross for us. Mm-hmm. He's just a beautiful buck that we think is going to do the right thing for us.
Yeah, he's a stud. Now, but there's a couple of other yearling bucks in with Atascosa that you really want to point out. Who are they?
Yeah, there's a big pretty boy yearling who's just huge, big SS, and then there's a nice, really framey brain freeze yearling that just got my perfect look, that square box frame and good time length.
Tell you what, Jesse's got so many deer out here that no matter what your favorite flavor is, a non-typical or typical or real wide, whatever, if you're looking for something, you're going to be able to find it here in the deer breeding world. So if you want to contact Jesse Boger at Limitless Genetics, again, he's in between San Antonio and Houston, Texas, just south of Schulenburg, and give him a telephone number.
281-330-9519.
Give him a call. He'd love to show you the place. My name is Keith Warren with Jesse Boger at Limitless Genetics, and we thank you for watching.